Hey everyone, and welcome to the Mark Prater podcast, where our aim is to connect our global family of Sovereign Grace churches with our executive director. Mark, there are a lot of resources that are being produced by and for Sovereign Grace churches. Ricky Alcantar, in charge of communications, is just killing it. He's just doing a great job and really bringing us uh, to a better place with more
Mhm,
consistent resources. Jared is doing a remarkable job
mhm.
when it comes to publishing. So some people might be aware of some of the things that are available. Others may not be. And so to serve those who are checking out the podcast, let's talk resources, Mark.
Let's do. Here's why. Sovereign Grace is not known for its marketing prowess. We don't we
Quite
don't
the
necessarily do
opposite.
the best job of letting folks know what we're producing, an area that we need to grow. But I love that we're that way, actually. And as you just said, Ben, a shout out to Jared Mellinger, who's leading us in publishing really good resources, and
Yeah.
Ricky Alcantar oversees our communications department, and he's just got great stuff on our website every month. And I
Yep.
was just looking at it, and I just thought, are people aware of how good this stuff is? So I want to start with the publishing department and mention some newer publications that, if you're not aware, are on our website. You can download the PDFs for free. You can order hard copies from 10 of those. You actually go to our website and it says order a copy from 10 of those. It'll take you to the 10 of those websites. So the first one I wanted to mention this one a little bit earlier this year. We published it late last year, and that is an Advent devotional entitled Christ Our Glory, subtitled Devotions for Advent, that is written by John Payne, one of our own pastors and a man that serves on the leadership team with me. If you didn't use John's book last Advent season, consider using it, whether it's for your family or if you're a pastor, you might even consider buying every household a copy and giving it to them as a Christmas gift, maybe in November, so they can go through it during the Advent season. So that's up. There's a book we just republished. It's called Biblical Productivity, written by C.J. Mahaney.
Classic.
C.J. Yeah, it's a classic because this was actually blog posts about biblical productivity that CJ wrote in 2008 and 2009. And then those blog posts were published in a book, a paperback book, and given out at the 2010 Sovereign Grace Pastors Conference. I still have my copy. I think Ben said you still have
I
yours.
still
Is
have
that
mine.
right? Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
The cover is not attractive, but the
No.
content is outstanding, and
Yeah.
we've improved the artwork on that cover, so that has been republished. And I think there may be people who are newer to Sovereign Grace or younger
Mhm.
generations who are not even aware of that book. That is, when it comes to productivity, that's a go-to book. So
Yeah.
C.J. Mahaney's book on biblical productivity, and then the first book we published in our Shaping Virtue series. So we have 7 shaping virtues, and our hope is to publish one book on each virtue, not only to strengthen our souls, but those can be used in a number of ways. But
Mhm.
let me tell you about the book that's out there first. The book is entitled Encouragement, written by Jared Mellinger, and maybe you've read the book. That's great. But consider who else might benefit. You could read through that for family devotions. A second idea would be if you've got new members coming to your church and you have a new members class of some kind, consider giving that book out as a gift to them because it's one of our shaping virtues. So those are some of the most recent books that have been published, and then 2 more recent journals that have been published. The most recent one is a journal dedicated to evangelism. And
Mhm.
there are some wonderful articles written in there. And if you're wanting to grow personally as a Christian in evangelism and outreach, or you want your church to grow, consider getting that and reading it. Again, you can download the PDF for free. You can order it through 10 of those. And pastors, consider giving that out or making it available to your church, those that would want to read on evangelism. And then
Mhm.
the other one that's recent as well, it's actually, I think we've published 9 or 10 versions of our journal. This one is on dedicated to church planting, which is
Hmm.
something we want to continue to do to advance the gospel. And there's some wonderful articles in there about church planting. So if you've ever thought about being on a church planting team, if you've ever thought about planting a church,
Hmm.
that would be a journal to get and to read through those articles. So there's more, but I thought I'd mention those most recent ones because I don't know that a lot of people go to our website. I mean, maybe that happens, but that's where you would find them. And I hope you
Yeah.
do go, and I hope you benefit from the resources.
Yes, I'm looking forward to reading that church planning journal. I haven't had a chance to do so yet. It's wonderful to see us getting our feet underneath us when it comes to regularly publishing books. It's gratifying. Grateful for Jared's efforts in that regard. But we're really just getting started, and there are more books in the pipeline on the horizon. Talk to us about some books that are coming out soon.
Yeah, these are books that are in the works, either are being written or have been written and are in the editing process. And I'm just going to mention a few of them. A book that I've mentioned in a previous podcast, Complementarianism, that will be in our perspective series, meaning that when it's in our perspective series, it's a little more theological, for example. And that book is written by Josh Blunt. It's one that I've read and benefited from. It's one I've endorsed. And you'll probably hear me say a few more times, I want every pastor and
Hmm.
member of Sovereign Grace to read that book. It is really well done. And I think you'll find that it will be a helpful, clarifying tool. That'll be available this fall. And I hope, if not this fall, certainly by the end of the year. A couple of another book in our perspective series that Jared is working on is a book on partnership.
Hmm.
Obviously, partnership is something we value in Sovereign Grace, not just relationally, but through our polity and through our desire to do mission together. So that will be coming out sometime in the next year or so, and then a couple of uh, shaping virtue books that are in the process of being written or edited. One of them is on godliness, written by Walt Alexander,
Hmm.
and the other one is on gratitude, written by Ricky Alcantar. And then a third one that Jared just completed the initial draft, going through the editing, is on joy. So there
Hmm.
are, once those are all published, we'll have four of our seven shaping virtues published. And again, make sure you read those as a member or a pastor. But as a pastor, think about utilizing those with new folks who come to your church or in your new members
Hmm.
class, because I think those can be really, really helpful. So just a few that are in the works. And I'm so excited, as you just mentioned, Ben. It's good to get our publishing up and running again and making
Yeah.
these resources available.
Wonderful. Well, this is kind of the journal and the books and all of this publishing is kind of the tip of the iceberg in some ways
It is.
because Ricky's also has been working hard to provide just a wide variety of regularly produced resources on our website. Talk about that.
Yeah, Ricky Alcantar, by the way, he was a pastor in El Paso, Sovereign Grace pastor in El Paso, lead pastor of Cross of Grace Church in El Paso, to be specific.
Yeah.
He's just doing, not only writes really well, but he's a creative guy, and he's
Yeah.
just taken our website and just transformed it. And what I want to draw attention to are the number of newer resources that are available to members and pastors of our churches and to those outside of Sovereign Grace. So what Ricky has done is he's mapped out a whole year ahead of time where each month has a theme. July's theme, for example, is worship. Last month in June, it was masculinity or biblical masculinity. So he'll just he'll take that theme and then he'll provide resources. So every month there is a prayer for the month. So that, for example, the prayer for July is on worship, written by Walt Alexander. It's a beautiful, wonderful prayer. It'll just serve your soul just to read it, but also you should consider praying it. The other thing that he has every month is he puts together a playlist of worship songs related to the theme of the month. So the
Hmm.
playlist is entitled this month "Call to Worship," for example. And there's a playlist every month that you can listen to and benefit from. And then there's a best quotes publication or a post that's up, and it's best quotes on a particular topic of that month. So best quotes on worship. Last month it was best quotes on biblical masculinity. Those are typically assembled by Asher Donahue, and he's just doing a great job with those. And then there's typically an interview that Ricky does with a Sovereign Grace pastor about the theme of the month. So this month, because it's worship, he interviewed David Zimmer, who works for Sovereign Grace Music. It's entitled "Behind the Scenes at Sovereign Grace Music." Last month, there was an interview that Ricky did with Steve Whitaker, and the topic was raising godly men because of the theme of biblical masculinity. So those are really, really good resources. And I'm not convinced enough people know about them. So that's why I wanted to dedicate a podcast and get the word out. Take advantage of those resources.
Excellent. Yeah, I do love the themes that he's bringing forward each month. And if I can add one more thing, the podcast that he and I do, the Clash Versus podcast, also is following along with the various themes as we move through the year. So look for that as well. So, oh, and by the way, I hear talk of if anyone's interested, Mark doesn't know what this is, but it's Ricky's also working on a Substack for not only the Clash Versus podcast, but also other podcasts that are in the works to kind of create a space for accessing all of that content as it gets produced in the days and months ahead as well. So, well, thanks, Mark.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
great idea.
Well,
and actually, I didn't know what Substack was. So this is the old man, young man gig we got as we do this episode.
Somehow we can't figure out how we're not good at promotion.
Yeah.
No, but we're glad that we have Ricky who knows what he's doing. So.
Yes, thank goodness.
So, all right. Well, thank you, Mark. And hopefully this served some people checking out the podcast who maybe aren't aware of these resources or maybe have forgotten. Easy in the flurry of activity in a daily life to forget about just the wealth of resources that are being produced for Sovereign Grace churches. So thanks to everybody who's working so hard to serve us and providing these resources. Thank you, Mark, for recommending them. And thank you for checking out the podcast. We'll see you next week, Lord willing. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching. If you have questions or comments, Mark would love to hear from you. For more videos like this, hit subscribe on YouTube or by email at markkprater.com.